Hi, everyone. Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thanks for tuning in. This is a Libra collective reading. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. All placements of Libra. April 21st to around the 27th. We have gratitude. Maybe some of us are really grateful that that full moon energy passed. Venus is now direct. But this is about, I think it's more like feeling more aligned. And I also feel that some of you may have had that breakthrough that had been coming up in readings. Whoa. Jumpy today, huh? All right. There's also, I'm getting an intuitive message right now about quilting or some sort of crafting where you're putting different pieces of things together. I feel, whoa. All right. Like Empress energy too. Actually believe that reminds me of the Empress. And then you have warmth. It's kind of like having the Empress, the Sun, and the Star all in these two cards. That's how I'm feeling it, with the warmth and the believe. It's sort of like believe in your own ability to not only like intuit messages, but also to really have that breakthrough. You see this person over their head, there's nothing blocking them, like things are clear. I feel as though with the glasses being sort of colored out and this person with their eyes closed, it's still a very introspective time. This person also is, eyes closed, third eye activated all the way to the base. So base up to the third eye, or crown chakra, I should say, crown chakra. And I feel like you're getting these higher, it's sort of like just kind of soaring above whatever is going on in the everyday. I think a lot of you too, maybe feeling a little more peaceful and harmonious, a little more balanced, a little more clear now that we've had some astrological changes. By the way, this is the Mystic Soul Oracle deck, and this is by Moon and Cactus. It's created by Christina Mitchell. And all the decks I use, the information's in the description box, and this does not include a promotion of any kind. It's just a deck I found and love. I have their tarot deck as well. All right, let's see. We have courage. Oh my goodness, notice on the card it has the sort of rainbow cloud that we've talked about in another reading. That, and actually, if you look at my background now, it also has sort of this rainbow cloud. I was drawn to it. There's something here about, it's almost like there is this, it's like reminding us of that gift of not having absolute clarity. Because when you don't have absolute clarity on something, it kind of still leaves options open in a sense. So that may or may not resonate for some of you, but anywho, let's see. We have a very special guest today, all the way from Italy. We have the Cheeky Tarot. This is by Danilo Sanino, and I hope I said that right. The creator and illustrator of the Cheeky Tarot. And I found this deck on Etsy. It's by, the shop name is White Fly Tarot. Here's the back if you want to just pause the video and look if you're interested. I think a lot of you are going to be interested in this deck. That's why I'm really showing, who it's by and everything. But oh my goodness, I've been having fun getting to know this deck. It's a very talkative deck and in a very fun way, completely different than any deck I own. And you know that I own hundreds at this point. So we have, starting off your reading, the Three of Cups. Now you'll notice I did have to kind of blur things out a bit here with some removable stickers. But this is a card of celebration. Okay, you'll see the people are all, you can almost hear them giggling, right? You can hear they're laughing. It's like, there's a relief here, and their cups are kind of spilling into each other's. So there's this shared energy of joy, of fulfillment, of love. And, some of that, it comes from changes in the environment. Whenever I see grapes, I think about the environment. Grapes are very difficult to grow. And, it's kind of like assessing the environment and having the courage right here, this courage to change what needs to be changed in order to access that Three of Cups energy. I get for some of you too, intuitively, I'm getting you're not going around and around anymore. That's sort of, there's a swirly energy that I feel is much more focused now. That's part of that rainbow cloud too. It's a very high frequency energy. It's more focused and it's more balanced. All right, what else do we have? You have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, that is a very courageous leader, right? This is entrepreneurial energy. And this is you can see the person's hand kind of like, it's like very focused, this hand here, very focused energy, very much knowing their own power. And again, this is tying right into that, the courage here and the believe card. Believe you can have that harvest, you can have the happiness, you can have the abundance. They have the pumpkins and the grapes and everything. And the King of Wands is holding on to their wand. Now the wand, it can represent that leadership, that direction, that power of purpose, knowing your power. So believe in your power with this fiery King of Wands energy. And you can see the little salamander, salamander is I think, I'm assuming that's what it's meant to be, because in the traditional tarot I think it's a salamander. But anyway, yeah, and there are other salamanders too. And it's like having that, again, that power, even that, he even has his own little crown here. But there's another message too, and I just saw 555 on the timer. That message, that could be a synchronicity for you. But there is something here about knowing exactly how much power to utilize or give to each situation, or how much energy to give to the situation. I'm kind of getting this like only really focusing on, there has to be time for there's a time to be serious and really buckle down, if you will. And then there's a time too where you have to really continue to tune into what brings you the most joy and what really fuels your passion. And that can, I always say, passion fuels purpose and purpose fuels passion. They're kind of like interchangeable. And see, like with the salamanders kind of going in a circular motion here too on the on his robe. There's a kitty necklace here, and the big cat power. That's like, again, that intuitive power. Think about it, how the Queen of Wands has her cat, that very independent, strong, intuitive, like kind of magic. Well, the King of Wands has that too with this card. Okay, let's see what else we have. There's that drive. It's like changing my environment. I'm going to be grateful for what I have right now, but I'm going to believe, and I'm going to have that courage to go forward and to make what I want to have happen. So you'll notice in this reading, anything we discuss could really apply to career, money, relationships, partnerships of any kind, certainly love, anything, and we'll pull angel numbers, angel messages, animal cards, lots of different cards for you. Let's see what we have. You have the 10 of Pentacles. This is long-term stability, success, happiness. I love how he's holding on to her face here. I assume it's woman, but holding on to their partner's face, and there's a little child there, and you can see they've accomplished things together. They've accomplished that family together. They may have also had help from other generations, or maybe they've even just learned from the mistakes that were made from their ancestors. But we have even the dogs, the companionship. So this is a card of even long-term companionship. It can certainly be good for partnerships as well, or having that family, the castle in the background. Again, there are the grapes on the robe here. I look at this person as sort of very definitely like a king energy. The King of Pentacles, basically, I feel, is sitting there in the 10 of Pentacles. And it's like you establishing that foundation that, whatever it's going to be, that's going to be what you're known for, your legacy. And not everybody, needs to have some massive, oh, I have to save lions or whatever. I mean, that's great. That'd be awesome if you did. Thank you for that. Please do save the lions. But at the same time, it's like, maybe you're here just to live your best life, and that is also a divine purpose. So divine purposes come in different, shapes and, different, they'll look different, right? It'll be different for each person. We have Judgment card here, and you'll see the people rising from their coffins. Again, I had to put some little tape over there, unfortunately, but I actually love this deck so much, I ordered a second copy, and I will not censor it. So that way, when I'm using it for myself or in private readings, I can have the full effect. But it was very tastefully done. But rules are rules, so I have to follow them. But anyway, Judgment card. You're making a judgment on something here, but you're also, this could be a time of sort of reawakening or rising from something that was very difficult, having that courage to get back up again. Get back up, get back out there, put yourself out there. Okay. That's the kind of the message with this card. You have some really, I mean, these are like really good cards here. The King of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, Three of Cups. I mean, these are all, not that the energy is ever bad in the reading. It's just that I feel as though this is definitely an energy of what I think most of you are wanting to do. And that is really move forward with a sense of purpose. And so what I was going to say too with the King of Wands is there's a time to be serious and a time to play too, and the play part and the stillness part is just as important as the doing the work and keeping busy, right? We don't want to eliminate the things we love and just focus on career goals or whatever. I feel that in order to really keep us more focused and more into having a happy, fulfilled life in general, we do need to make time for play. Definitely. All right. And this is like, and in fact, you could be inspiring others to do the same. This is a very motivational energy, a bold leader. This is, again, somebody who's very witty too and charming. So maybe people love your sense of humor. I just saw 1111 on the timer. So divine timing is at play here, particularly when we see the Judgment card, and the angel here overseeing everything. I get that for some of you, there is an awakening and there's clarity to a final decision. Again, connecting maybe to what you're passionate about or your life purpose, or you define your life purpose, by the way, right? You decide. What else do we have? The Knight of Wands. All right. So this is a little bit of a different energy as from the King of Wands here and the Ten of Pentacles and everything. This is a very like fire energy, but it might not be as focused necessarily. This is somebody who really embodies the energy of the suit of the wands, that fiery, courageous action, right? That action. But it's also someone who's not quite as maybe not ambitious, because they don't lack ambition. Ambition's definitely there, but it's sort of the direction maybe is there could just be a level of intensity or this absolute fearlessness without having all the necessary training or something, so maybe you are seeking some training or this sense of adventure. You'll notice the red feather here and the armor. I mean, this person's prepared and they do know some things, they have some wisdom, and they it's like moving fast quickly, or moving forward quickly, right? Moving forward quickly with something. And yeah, there are obstacles here, with these the mountains in the background, but those are actually kind of look like pyramids. And so I feel like that's actually what you would call, organized chaos, right? It's something to that effect. So yeah, as you charge forward with something without looking back, by the way, there may be times where you're not sure. But the important thing is that you believe and you continue to have that courage, and also be grateful again for all the stages where we are, right? Being grateful for where we are, even the calm moments, the playful times, the times when we're not maybe making all the big grand steps we want to make. Life is. I'm also getting something here too about, I heard the name Angelino, something like that, Angelo. And then they gave me a name like they gave me the initial B, as in Brenda or Beverly or something. And then they gave me when I say they, I mean my guides. And then I got something like Whitaker too, or there's something here too. What it can be, somebody could be trying to, now separate from those names, there could be somebody who's just trying to like stomp on your happiness or your joy or your plan. I'm getting a caution here with this energy right now, is you kind of need to move a little bit in silence and maybe not draw so much attention to what it is you're going to do next. Instead, just focus on doing it. So there doesn't need to be like grand announcements, it seems like. That's just, again, it's an intuitive message, and you can always take or leave any of the messages in the readings. But I am getting that where you may have a little bit of jealousy around you. You could, because you get to, do what you want to do. And maybe you're around somebody or a group of people even who aren't able to do what they want to do. So it's kind of like they're sort of projecting a little bit. I was picking up on that on that warmth card, even though it's a card of warmth. I'm feeling as though sometimes that warmth you express, Libra or viewer, is not returned, and it's like better to just kind of let that go, and like still just we're still okay. So okay, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. All right, now who I loved seeing together. I do love seeing the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles together because male female has nothing to do with it. It's not gender specific. It has to do with the energy. It has to do with the fact that this is that bold leader, courageous, very inspiring, that going forward, full steam, like full force, full steam, right? But then you have this Queen of Pentacles who's a little more just the energy itself is a little more secure, practical, very connected to animals. Some of you may be animal lovers. Of course, I am, but yeah, there is this sort of, I'm getting domestic animals coming in. So you could have something right now. Maybe your cat just jumped on your lap or something, but I'm very much feeling like this energy of a pet or something like coming into the reading, like literally right now. So as you know, I pick up on past, present, future energies as an intuitive person. But anyway, it's there is this security here. There's that prosperity. There's a lot of abundance here, and it's creating that abundance. And again, it's because of the passion. That's what's fueling you, right? Some people too. I'm getting this sort of, you may be focusing on sort of being this this more of this like balanced energy. Maybe you have had people that are, you're to this or you're to that. First of all, tune that out. Who cares what they think, right? but but it's sort of it's again that sort of what Libras strive for, that the balance of the stability and security, but also that fieriness, the confidence too, the passion, again, that self-assurance, but also having that stability. So I feel as though whatever your next steps are, career, relationship, etc., you want to have that, like say it's romance, you want to have that fiery, like, oh my gosh, chemistry, attraction, really hot and stuff, right? But you also want to have that stability, right? You don't want to have just too much of one or the other. It's not really going to work out. And I feel like it can also, applying to not just relationships, but business or your finances in general, or your health. You want to have some things going on, even in your day-to-day life, that, yes, things are, you can go and have fun, and you can be, kind of, what is it, like, enthusiastic, not just enthusiastic, again, it's like being very super passionate and really like excited energy, but also, for what you're doing, this like heart-centered energy I'm getting, even though it's not a cup, the wands have that feeling as well. And I get that it's also like blending in though with this this responsible, disciplined energy. So again, it's like maybe you're trying to strike more of a balance here, or you're wondering, can I have it all? Like, for example, if it is some kind of relationship, can it be something you're really excited about and passionate, and you still have fun and all this, but then you also are like creating financial stability together and a happy home and all that? Or can it be that you have fun, but like in healthier ways, maybe you're spending more time outside or something, as opposed to like, out partying or something, right? So there is this balance of the energies, and how best to work with them, again, with that King of Wands. So Queen of Pentacles with the bunny here and other animals, there's certainly a lot of fertility and abundance here. This is similar to the Empress card in a way. I feel like they're like cousins in tarot. But yeah, like nurturing. So nurturing what you do have and making something from nothing for some of you. And it's fueled by your passion. What else do we have? Don't let anyone dim your light, right? What else do we have? I get you're not going to have to choose. You can have something that you love that can also provide that security, stability. You have the Five of Wands. You'll notice these people, like, they're kind of, they're not exact. There's this little referee. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's awesome. The little ref here. It looks like maybe a mole, a little. So I am getting a little bit of a. There could be a spying energy. I am getting people looking on. Again, be careful what you share with people. Not everyone's going to have your best interest in mind. There's something here too about, like, it's almost a joke in a way. I get that someone may be trying to compete with you. Five can definitely be a conflict and competition, but oh, is that a badger or is that a um oh man, I'm gonna have to. It's not because of the artist. It's because of me not knowing for sure with the animal. Anyway, there is something about, like, not taking somebody seriously when they're trying to challenge you because they don't know what they're talking about. Like, your craft, your relationship, your life better than others, right? And they're kind of a joke. People may be like flexing and having, egos involved. I'm saying flexing. Look at those calf muscles, right? They're like, yeah, check it out. I did this or I did that. And I get, like, this person's kind of laughing, like, yeah, this is hilarious. Like, we're not even actually fighting. Let's just pose for the picture. It's like there's again, like could be an immature energy of fakeness or, just sort of like, okay, yeah, I mean, but let's not argue for the sake of arguing, right? So there's just a little bit of energy there going on with that. All right. Oh my goodness. And you have the Sun card. Have the Sun card here. It's amazing to me. I only had to blur out a little bit on like 5 cards, and you just got 3 of them. So don't think that the whole deck needs to be blurred out. It doesn't. But there's the Sun card, and there's Leo energy, and there's that fire. And I love seeing Judgment with the Sun. It's like you're getting this new sense of like vitality and again, free spirited. There's a free spirited energy that's coming in. You're being released from something that did not suit you or serve you. Maybe you're the one doing the releasing, you're the one deciding, right? And with the Sun card too, it can have to do with children, but it can also have to do with just joy in general, right? It can represent joyous outcomes, success, wealth, celebration, confidence, vitality. All right. So happy, so cute. Like, that. And notice, the red feather on the Knight of Wands as well. And in that same row, then you have the Sun. And it's kind of like, after all these conflicts and maybe like this real focus on just stability and the balance of stability and passion. And maybe before you were mostly focused on just the stability, but again, you're adding some more passion in there and it's really fueling things. I feel when we do things from the heart, we have the most success. That's what I feel. I mean, do we make the most money? Not necessarily all the time, but sometimes, yeah, absolutely. You know, but it's life's a balance, right? It is a balance. And again, we don't want to fight just for the sake of faking or side of I don't know what that just for the sake of fighting. Okay, let's see what we have. What do we have? What do we have? I'm getting something about a magazine article. I mean, I know some people may not have magazines, but there again, I'm getting just this like maybe it's like an online magazine. Um, maybe you're getting published with something too. You could be getting published, or um, there's something there's like something monumental. Even there's a big step here. So again, only take what resonates. Let's see what we have. Oh, the Ten of Wands. Some people may have some unrealistic expectations of you, and you may be applying this pressure on yourself. Okay, with the Ten of Wands, though, you can see there's growth on those wands. I mean, this is like muscling your way through something too. This kind of reminds me of an old cartoon character, but there's something you'll notice. The seams here, there are seams. This person's still keeping it together, or else their seams would be all busted. Now, are they gritting their teeth? Yeah, their dentist might not be happy, but actually, I am picking up on people who grind their teeth at night and bruxism or something. I am kind of picking up on that. So I don't know if you're doing something with a jaw doctor or night guard or something, but I'm getting that intuitively as well. I heard the name Hopkins too. And I just heard the name Elijah. All right. So Some of you too, it's like it's worth it though, because I'm getting to, for some of you, you're wondering if you commit to something, if you'll be able to maintain that commitment. And that's one of those things where you're just going to have to decide, what you want more is, is something going to be worth that. For some of you, it may be a stress of feeling, relied upon too heavily. But again, this person seems, things are laced up neatly still. They're not even stressed. They're not like, but yes, there's some stress, but I feel like it's coming from the head, and it's mental stress that we might be placing on ourselves. But there is the home in the background here, or castle, and there's life happening there. You can see there's the fire happening here with the home in the background. And so there's something here about being, it's like, yes, there's stress, and it's taxing at times, but at the same time, you're making progress. All right, there you are making progress. There's something too about wanting to be prepared for something. I am getting that, like you're making preparations. What else do we have? I know it's randomly specific, and I am not a health professional, but I am picking up on someone needing to treat something with like an ointment or a cream. So it could be a skin condition, or it could be something else that's getting sort of like inflammatory. Sometimes when we're doing, going through our spiritual awakening, which I certainly get off some of these cards with you, they're up here too with the oracle cards, but there can be inflammation. Okay, so it could be a sign of, spiritual cleansing, almost, as to prepare you for another level, for the new level. It's like, I think they call it spiritual detoxing. But again, if you have something health wise going on, just please check it out with a professional, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you are really trying to decide. You're going to have to focus on something though, but most of all, you're going to have to believe. If you're wondering if you can juggle more than one thing, yes, you can. You can definitely juggle more than one thing. Is it going to be easy all the time? Of course not. No, it's not. It's not going to be easy all the time, but I feel for some of you, it's about, again, believe, get that higher perspective. What do you know? I mean, higher perspective. This is a card of higher perspective with the Chariot on the bottom of the deck. I heard the deck, look at the bottom. Yeah, okay, so I look at the bottom. But then look, this person's like, yeah, well, we'll see about that, won't we? But the Sphinxes, they're not moving. There are castles in the background. So and then again, the wings here, it can indicate speed at times. The Chariot, though, just remember, in a lot of decks, they feature it as this fast moving set of horses, and that's great. And I get that. But there's also, there's a huge element of the Chariot of having the self-control and the, moving forward with discipline. You'll notice, as I said, the Sphinxes are not moving forward yet. Why? Because this person's not 100% clear on a direction. So they're not just aimlessly. There's a need to focus, because if we don't focus our energy, yeah, we're going to be all over the place. This person, there may be turbulent times going on, or they may be having to weigh some options here, right? But there are some there, you are balancing still. You're still balancing. So there's an element here of like making a determined choice from a higher perspective. And then I look at the next card, and the next card that you have is the Fool card. And I always find it especially lucky when you have in your reading the card that's featured either on the back of the deck or on the box of the deck. That to me is just, it's a very fortuitous, it's a very it's indicative of a lucky break for some of you. Of this card certainly is fresh start. Again, you're getting the red feather in the cap. You may want to look into what the red feather in tarot signifies when it's at the head like that. I feel it means you definitely have some knowledge, some wisdom to go on, and that can be fueling your next steps forward. That's just one meaning. But you have the white rose of intention. You have the we've been talking a lot about the Fool card lately on this channel and my other channel, Mantic Mystic Messages, where you can check out all your signs. But we've been getting the Fool card a lot, actually, particularly Aries. If you have any Aries in your chart, there are some readings there, and they really feature the Fool card. But this is, taking the leap of faith, having the optimism of the sun. That's what you have, clarifying the sun. You will be okay. This is your time. This is your time to rise up, rise and shine. Rise and shine. That is what this reading is all about. You coming back from something, up from something, stepping into a new light, again, ascending, um, and having that new beginning. And the Fool isn't starting always from scratch. I do want you to know that, because often in tarot they have the tattered sleeves. So there's always sort of that hey, just remember, you do have some experience here, but at the same time you could feel very inexperienced in something in particular. But you have to have that fresh hope, that sort of innocence of the child. Some people may say, oh, that's really foolish or whatever, like, look at the dog freaking out, like, you're gonna do what? Dogs, they like their routine, right? But this person's like, I have pure intentions here. I'm, the innocence and the purity of that white rose here. And I'm going to do what I really feel and believe is right. I'm tuning into my own higher wisdom here. I'm making that connection with the ultimate star in our universe, the sun, and I'm going for it. You're going for it. And I always talk about on the Fool card, the pack is light. There's a little pack, it's not some big baggage, No, it's you what's in there. I always say lessons, not luggage, right? We don't want to be burdening ourselves with baggage. Your baggage is not, or someone else's baggage is not yours to carry. And often that's what baggage is, right? It's like leftovers from what once was, and who wants to eat leftovers every day? I'm certainly not going to carry them around with me, right? I want fresh, right? You want fresh energy. We want fresh. And you do have that. I'm actually getting something, some of you, maybe there's like a performance or where you have to dress up for it. So I am getting that. Maybe you're attending something. Some of you could literally be attending like a music event that's formal, sort of like an orchestra or opera or something. I am kind of getting that. Or maybe you have even a relative in spirit who, connected with that. But I do have that. And then you have, oh my goodness. And then your final tarot card for this portion of the reading is the Nine of Pentacles. And look at that abundance. Again, very empressy, that is one of our cards in tarot, but the Nine of Pentacles, even though it's, this person too, actually, she looks like she's well fed. She's well fed. This is a person who has their ish together, right? They've got their stuff together. They can do difficult things. You can do difficult things. Like, again, with the grapes here, right? You can do difficult things, all that growth. Look at how far you've come. And it's because you've done the work. You've done the work. Yeah. She makes it look easy, but guess what? There's been a lot of work behind the scenes. And her little falcon here is going, yeah, I can vouch for that. She worked really hard. This deck's talking. Danilo said it would, and it certainly does. This deck, I love it. I love it. Okay, so stability, security, and taking care of. You see how she's kind of gently resting her hand on that pentacle there? It's like, yeah, I'm taking good care of myself, my resources. You don't want to be over giving. This is definitely financial gain, solo pleasures, even the fruits of your labor, enjoying the finer things in life. And again, this person has a red cap on. Now that has to do with me. For me, it has to do with that power to manifest, that knowledge, that wisdom, tapping into that. Some of you too, you may be seeing woodpeckers, like male woodpeckers, or some other bird that has a red cap even. That could play into this too. And it has to do, again, with like your higher cognitive abilities even. This is about there's something here too about getting your facts straight, getting something straightened out. Okay, again, there's preparation, there's straightening out, but this is about you rising and shining in the most brilliant ways. And that's why you have warmth here and courage, believe. You have all these beautiful cards, but you have to appreciate yourself and how far you've come in the journey and the lessons, right? Definitely. We have to do that. And also there's another message too about you never know who you're inspiring. Okay. You could be inspiring somebody and not even realize it. And I think too, that more people think so highly of you and they're not necessarily going to tell you that. People are not good with that sometimes. Right. But it's like doing something for yourself though, and your own satisfaction, and who cares what other people think. There's something here too about this particular card. See the little bit of blue there underneath this kind of fancy garment. I feel as though underneath it all, let's remember, we're all people, right? People are people, right? So even though this person may appear as though, oh, they're, ritzy and whatever, they're still grounded and connected to nature, making them more of like sort of a, again, down to earth. So it's like having this down to earth thing, this nature about you, and yes, again, enjoying the finer things in life. But when it comes to it, at the end of the day, people are people, right? And she's got her little. I think it's like, what would be funny is if on like underneath there was like she has a T-shirt and it's like from her first concert. It's like Metallica or something, or it's like under there. She's like, yeah, but the thing is you do not have to share all of your secrets with people either. Your secrets of success, okay? It's sometimes like other people, it's up to them to experience their own journey. So if some people are relying on you too heavily to kind of guide them and take responsibility for them, no, they're grown-ups, assuming they're grown-ups. Yeah, children, yes, we have to take care of, but not once they're 36. You don't have to. I mean, you can, but it's okay to kind of loosen the reins, right? Like with this chariot card, the hands aren't even on the reins right now, so maybe you need to kind of loosen up to get clear. Sometimes we hold on to a specific outcome, and that's not how manifestation works. If we hold too tightly, we don't give something room to breathe. That includes people, that includes projects, that's whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to grow. We have to give it room to breathe, just like the grapes turning into the wine or something. It's like you've got to give something room to breathe here. And let it grow. So sometimes we do need to step back, step up, have a higher perspective in order to really shine forth more brilliantly, more successfully, from a much more abundant place. And yeah, there's a lot that already that you can apply to whatever this new start is for you, whatever this new beginning is for you. There's already a lot there. Now, some of you're going to have this awareness coming in. If you don't already have it yet, I'm tuning into the energy of you getting this awareness that you deserve. You've paid for whatever mistakes you've made in life, okay? And you're getting this other chance. And I feel like you have the angelic energy coming in a couple of these cards, with the chariot, even with the wings, judgment card here, and again, just this sort of overall feeling of again tuning in, and in order to rise up, tune in to tune up, I guess. I don't know. So, but you also need to tune out anybody who's not supportive and who's not going to help you have those the happiness that's not going to add to your. I just heard a name like Emmett or Emily or Emma, but or more I just heard Crisco or Christo, something like that. So there's something here too about being able to be weaving your own dreams. Okay, weaving your own dreams. But you notice, like it's like the goal here is those yellow skies, that the happiness, the blue skies, yellow skies in tarot, very happy energy, especially the yellow, I feel. And yeah, let's see what else, because even the Queen of Pentacles, yellow skies. So you can get a lot out of cards, huh? Like details. Love that. So, let's see what else we have. Let's get some clarifying cards for you. Let's use the Color Goddess the Color Goddess casting cards. Okay, these are by Reneé Burch. Let's see what we have. Again, all the decks I use are in the description box, as well as ways to find them. Orange. Oh my goodness. Enthusiasm, fun, and vitality. We've already touched on this. The whole purpose of drawing extra cards like this is to get some deeper insight into the messages we've already received. Some of you may connect with Monarch. Some of you connect with, there's Virgo energy here. And so there's maybe like highly detailed, or like, maybe, again, very earthy energy, capable, connecting with again, the finer things in life. I kind of feel this is similar to that Nine of Pentacles energy. Somebody who is down to earth, but yet they've done the work, and they're they've had this transformation, you know, to turn in from this caterpillar to this butterfly. Look at the great hair. Look at that's like maybe you're up in the vitamin E or something, but there's some look at this great hair. I mean, it's like nice and full and all that. Some of you may be worried about your age too. You're not too old to do something. Okay. I've struggled with that myself as I've, gotten older, and it's like you're not too old. Okay. I plan on being a kid at heart forever. So that's all right. And then you have peach, beauty, comfort, serenity here. It's not here, but I'm seeing okay. It's okay. Something's okay. There's something here that it's okay. Someone, I'm getting almost grandmother. If you have a grandmother in spirit, there's something maybe she would, oh, honey, it's okay. I'm kind of hearing that. Oh, honey, it's okay. There's going to be a big change, but you're okay. You've got this. You're okay. There's beauty, comfort, again, serenity, but I'm picking up on security too. You have these beautiful, they kind of look like cherry blossoms, these flowers, but I'm not so sure. If you know what these are, you may want to look up the spiritual representation of what that flower is. By the way, I had poppies come through on the Queen of Pentacles still. You have feathers here. Yeah, there's kind of moving forward with elegance. Again, it's like that Nine of Pentacles, and then so with the colors of peach and orange, what they have in common, they have orange in common. Red, yellow makes orange. But anyway, this is about you with the sacral chakra would be orange. That's your creation, fertility, again, your vitality, all that, your enthusiasm maybe to create. But then there's your willpower, which is the solar plexus, and then there's the which would be yellow. Then there's your root chakra, which would be red. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I look into like all kinds of messages and things when I'm reading cards. And the fact that they have orange in common, and then how do you get orange, red, and yellow, right? I feel as though you need to combine your yellow, which would be sort of your I can, I will, I do energy, with your red energy, which is that need for stability, security. Where do I fit in the world? It's kind of combining that in order to create from that sacral space, which is, that orange energy. So that's where I'm going with it. That's, what, that's where I'm going with it. Let me see if I can, actually, I might have a little, chart or something here about the chakras, but maybe you're learning about chakras. Maybe you're, maybe that's what you're doing. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to go there right now. I think I'm just going to, if you look up the chakras, you'll notice it goes from red. It's, Roy G. Biv, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, from the one bottom all the way up to the top. And the higher we are, the more like connected to, the divine source spirit on the chakras. And the lower we are, it's more sort of that groundedness connected to the earth and the, think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Have you ever seen the pyramid there of that? Thinking about that. So some of you might be moving up on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's not so much about just like day to day, but you want something more, wanting something bigger out of life. But again, you have to have that confidence. Okay. And that's like, again, that solar plexus chakra. So if you feel like your chakras are blocked, you can look online. And sometimes we have too much energy in certain chakras. We have stagnancies, blocks in some, and then, and too much excess, overactive in others. So that's why it's important to do things like meditate, be outside, connect with animals, connect with, nice music, classical music, something, connecting with animals, which would be part of nature, of course. But if you can't get out, maybe even connecting with your pet or bringing plants in or working with crystals. So there are all kinds of ways to get more aligned spiritually and energetically. You see, look, here it is. Here's this alignment here, right? And it's important too, when you try to meditate, if you notice your mind is, going off in the clouds, again, it kind of just, as I always tell you, like, congratulate yourself for actually noticing that you notice, congratulate yourself the fact that you're now, okay, yeah, maybe my mind wandered, but at least I'm getting myself back on track, and then just let it go. I just saw 4444. So, again, it's like the foundations here And before that, I saw 444. So it's your angels are letting you know you are on the right path and you're going at the direction will become much more clear. So for your angel numbers, let me get those out. This is the Soul Reflections Divine Angel Numbers by Nadine Swiger. Card 444. You are guided and protected. Okay, angels watch over you with love and encouragement, which you saw in the Judgment card. And then 4444 is going to be the last, it's literally the last card. So some of you may be surprised how much stability and how much angelic support you're getting. Call upon your guides and angels. I'm telling you, it works. It works. Actually talk to them. Whoever you believe your guides are, and if you don't know, just talk to you. Say, hey, guides, guardian angel, guides, light beings, whatever you believe in. So this is a sign of divine intervention, though. The universe has heard your request. Now, we did have some animals come through, but I'd like to get animal cards, angel messages, and just, if you have specific questions regarding anything else, relationships and things, let's get another. This is the Cherry Blossoms Oracle deck by the Sacred Seekers. So let's get a little more clarification. This can apply again to any area of your life. We connect with nature. My goodness, I just said this, right? So connect with nature. So through observation and reflection, you learn valuable lessons about resilience, adaptability, and the interconnectedness of all beings. That just simply being outside. If you can't get out, open the window. That's card 3, and it's the Empress. The Empress is card 3. Again, connecting with your own ability to create, to have the abundance and that connection with source, with earth, with Mother Gaia. Embrace uncertainty, card 10. Choosing to welcome uncertainty opens the door to profound healing by allowing you to release the need for rigid control. That's what we talked about too. Sometimes we have to loosen our grip in order for something to really work out. And empower others, card 11. When you uplift and support those around you, you create an environment of emotional healing within yourself. See the little bird in there, the little blue egg. Beautiful. Okay, what else do we have? Some of you, as far as a relationship, I actually feel like some of you are actually giving too much. Let me get a numbers card on that. Sign of inner wisdom, connect with spirituality and intuition, 77. If you're feeling something's out of balance, I think your take on that is accurate. Even if someone's telling you, no, it's you, not me. No, it's them. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's see. Ascending Life Oracle by Maruka X. A little more clarity here. Career, money, finances, overall well-being. Answers. So this is mystery reaching a resolution. Again, you're getting some answers, clarity. Problems will be resolved. There's going to be some closure from the past. Maybe you've already experienced that when you came into this reading. And fragmented. So right now I feel like for some of you too, I kind of got that in the beginning of the reading, and I didn't know if it was some kind of art you're doing or what, like quilting even in addition to art, but I guess that can be an art too, right? But things are kind of like, it's like, again, splitting your energy too many things going on, having a lot of options, something being incomplete. There's something about, like, you might not have all the information right now. And it might be that you just need to get started on something, maybe you decide, right? Your situation best, and you have a hot mess. So this is disorderly habits, chaotic, messy situation, feeling miserable, feeling unhappy. Like you could be feeling like I am, feeling like a hot mess. But I also see, there are oranges here in this card too. And it's like this person has, I'm going to view them as oranges anyway. They have, again, that ability. It's like they know how to take care of themselves. So it's okay. Get back on track, right? What matters most is how you go forward, right? Evil eye. So know you are protected. Cleanse and protect your energy. Careful who you trust. Again, there could be some jealous people nearby, just letting you know. Could be at work. And then sad news. So there could be something you don't want to hear. It could be an inconvenient truth. It could be, again, just something not really going in your favor. But then they're starring, like the fact that there is fruit here in the background. And daffodils on the counter. So it's like something too that I feel as though for some of you, this news may not directly impact you. It could be someone around you. but they're giving me like something that in the past would have been quite devastating to you. It's not as bad as you think or something. Like you're handling something better, or it's like it's a sign. You take it as a sign that there's something better on the way. Coldness, yeah, okay, so you could feel as though your love life is blocked, or you could need to release some emotions. Okay, you could be feeling as though things are frozen in some area of your life. Let's thaw that out. How do we thaw that out? Passion, that's how we thaw it out, with passion. Having new passion in your life. Okay, have that. Spark. How can you be more inspired? Maybe when you feel good when you look good. Maybe you want to do something with your appearance, or you want to do something with your environment, tidy it up, clean it up, feeling so it's a little more organized and not cluttered, and that can make you feel fragmented too, a cluttered environment. All right, let's get a little more divine direction. We're going to go even a little bit further, a little bit deeper into this reading. Can you believe it? Hour in, almost. All right. Divine direction. Winter, there's that frozen energy again. So what you desire will manifest. But there is a time, there's a need for quiet reflection. We've been getting this card a lot. I feel quiet reflection. And again, get very clear on what you want before you move forward. And you have let off steam. So trying not to hold things in, right? You've got to let things out in order to reconnect. Again, reconnect with spirit, with nature, faith, and have faith in the universe. Let it impress you with its magic. Enjoy this beautiful journey. Let's get a few angel messages. Again, this is also by Maruka X. Here's the back of it. I don't know, I can't remember the exact name of it. Wish it was on the back. It's not. But they have an Etsy shop. All of these decks are from Etsy, actually. So, from different shops. Early stages, card 67. So you're still in the early stages of growth, but the long-term outlook is strong if you keep nurturing and encouraging or engaging your talents. If you're something you're passionate about, there's a reason you're still passionate about it, okay? Don't let go of that. Do not let go, even if things feel stuck. You're getting divine assistance, card 54. So accept the help your angels are sending you to assist you in your endeavors. And you don't have to fight something alone, okay? You don't. You have angelic support, you have support, and maybe even from an animal. I'm getting nothing's missing, card 32. Make what you have enough. I'm going to connect this right back to gratitude. And you can feel like that Queen of Pentacles, right? And that Nine of Pentacles, even without, having everything exactly as you expected, right? All right. We're loosely holding on to ideas and things. And all right. So yeah, find peace in the present moment. Appreciate what you already have. We get this message a lot. I mean, that's good. And we'd be grateful for what we have in order to attract more for which to be grateful. Let's find out let's get a crystal card. We'll get a high vibe card, an animal card, and we'll be done. So the crystal of the week that may help you is Iolite. Shift your money mindset. Shift your money mindset. And actually, because we did get that, I do want to get a money blocks card for you and see what kind of blocks where we need to maybe release. Just get one. Just the most important, please. Outdated ways. So modernize. Okay. So this is about traditional thinking or old ways or even old thought patterns could be blocking you. It's vital to keep in tune with more modern era. Question your beliefs too. That's something I encourage you to do always, right? Question your beliefs. Where do they come from? Reevaluate your goals. Okay. And so it's vital to keep in tune with the modern era to stay ahead, or else you could risk being left behind as everything continues to change. Yeah, just, making necessary changes here and there. It doesn't have to be this big overhaul, but again, start from what you know and what you're most passionate about. That's my advice with that. And I think, that Spirit's advice here in this reading. High vibing. How can we stay high vibing during, what can sometimes be difficult times? This is by Becky Moore. The crystal deck is Daily Inspirations by Heather Askinozy. Daily Crystal Inspiration. This one is High Vibe Becky Moore. What do we need to know? One bit of homework, if you will. If you enjoy this reading, please do like and subscribe. Consider being a channel member too. Liking and subscribing, though, totally free. Friendly chat. Call a friend for a friendly chat. Schedule a time to have tea or go for a walk. We're social beings, even the most introverted of us. So see if you can keep the conversation focused on what's working well in your life. If you need to vent about something, set a timer for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, move on to another higher vibe topic. I realize not all of us have, friends we can do this with. This is something that you can, again, talk to your guides, or have a journal, where you're able to write one thing that you're grateful for. Gratitude journals are great for that. I've done it myself. All right. And okay, now Power Animals. Power Animals by Britta Bowman. Squirrel. Envision your goals and take deliberate steps toward them. Focus on the end game. Focus on the end game, but I'm also saying it also the step you're on, but we don't want to be overwhelming ourselves with just what's going on right now, right? You have to kind of zoom in and zoom out on life, especially when we're working towards something. We have to see both the big picture and the details, right? Leopard, embrace, look at, and so you did it again, just like with the Cheeky Tarot. Now you have like what they decided to put on the back. It's very lucky, leopard. Actually, that might be cougar on the back. Actually, it is. Never mind. Okay, so leopard. Anyway, big cat energy, right? Embrace your wild, confident nature and conquer any terrain with elegance and courage. That is what your whole reading's about. Thank you so much for being here. Wishing you a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next reading.